Alright, let's see. Last time we already talked to Lady Westmacott. We also talked to the captain. Both were helpful, but not where we need to be at the moment. I look at our notes. Yep. Oh, that's not the one. That's what I'm looking for. Clues. Hint. Ah. That's right. There was a suspicious bloodstain we need to collect. But in order to do so, we need something to collect said sample with. If I were going to get a blood sample, I would need to go, I think, down to the medical.
Neither Dr. Gebhardt nor Constable Oliver can keep up with Legrand's pace, but in contrast to good old Robert, the doctor doesn't let himself get roped in for the long haul. I wonder what would happen if Legrand dragged him out of bed for another investigation.
There'd probably be a second murder.
I'm not paying for this trip, and that's a fair price for my cabin. It's rather plain, shall we say.
Go into your...
I've slept enough.
What? Can't a guy go and explore the room for potential items? Let's see. Oh, a vase.
A big, ugly, and impractical vase. If it had a wider opening, one could at least use it as an umbrella stand. Can't see anything. Wow, heavier than it looks.
Waiting for the handle to break. What?
Aha!
I'll take the feathers.
Nothing special. Although, it seems like one of the feathers was scorched at the top. Literally burnt. I'd better take it with me. Why were the down feathers tossed in the vase? Or is there anything else in there? There may be something else in the vase, but the neck is too narrow to reach in with my hand.
Oh, good grief. Then tip it upside
There may be
down.
something else.
Dude. Not that hard.
Apparently, the Baroness didn't have time to unpack her bags. Or rather, didn't have time to tell her butler to unpack them for her. Sifting through all that would take ages. But here, the Baroness's handbag. Aha. A small leather-bound book. 1964 is engraved on it. This must be the Baroness's diary.
Well, what are you doing? Read the diary.
Let's see. Yes, it's a diary, all right. Difficult to read. No entry from yesterday. A brief, sober description of what she's done recently. Met Morris, arranged benefit concert for renovation of Louvre Southeastern Wing, Times photo shoot for Eye of Sphinx, BM, poor excuse for photographer, too fidgety, and so on.
Riveting.
This entry looks strange. The handwriting is shaky, difficult to read. Dreamt of Bobby. Yesterday would have been his birthday. Next week, Jay's. Cosmetics, a handkerchief, a spectacles case. Nothing special. The Baroness was a very... She writes about Bubby and Jay. Almost every family lost loved ones in the war.
Let's see. Come on. Oh wait, I see another feather.
I don't care what Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt say. The blood, maybe I'll get the chance.
Come on, change it. I saw that.
Something's under there. More feathers. And they're singed as well. I'll put them with the others.
Yeah, can we take the diary? Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll leave it there. I don't have time to read all of it.
I don't think that was the point. Zellner.
The portholes face the side deck. If someone climbed out of the cabin through a porthole, Legrand and I would have seen them. The portholes are locked. One cannot open or close them from outside. It's the same problem as with the door. If someone left the cabin through the porthole, how did they lock it? And the Baroness wasn't shot from outside. The doctor said she was shot at close range.
I don't know, it doesn't make sense, but okay.
Some of the down feathers I found in the vase are singed.
Can't we just turn this upside down? I know that's such a leap in logic.
Else in the vase, but the neck is too narrow to reach in with my hand.
What is this, the monkey banana problem with the jar? I mean, come on, Zellner. And move, Zellner.
I don't care what Legrand... Maybe I'll get the chance to enter.
Thank you for rearranging. Wait, what? Oh, examine painting.
Sunflowers. By Van Gogh, I presume. He liked to paint that sort of thing. Can't be an original. They cost thousands of francs.
What?
An antique wooden globe. If Galileo hadn't asserted himself back then, this would be a flat disk now. The globe nicely shows that 4/5 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Looking out the window, I'd call that an understatement.
That was helpful. Well, let's go downstairs. Maybe I can at least show the feathers off. Put them off to Legrand and his ridiculous chemistry set. We can study the desk in our room? Oh, crap, I did not notice that. Let's see.
Constable?
After we wrap this up, we'll go check again.
I found feathers in the Baroness's cabin.
Really?
Yes, they were in a vase next to the door.
I hope this is leading up to some information that justifies this interruption.
Some of the feathers are singed.
Show me. Well, you may have something here.
I think that someone fired a shot through a pillow or something like that, and the muzzle flash scorched the down.
Yes, possible. Try to find the pillow and we'll take it from there.
I'll be in touch if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
Yeah, I don't think Legrand caught the Raven at all. His deduction skills are point and click levels of lacking. Fittingly so, but, you know. Okay. No, there's a vase. Nope. Wait. Nope. Can't do anything there.
The Sibling brand reel from the Baroness's cabin. The tape that came on it and the reel that belongs to the player are both gone.
Nope. Can't study anything else in there. The window outside for a pillow is a good idea. I can't check the bed itself because that always diverts to bloodstain inspection. Let's see. It would be this end. What is with the green and red up there? Good night. Okay, nothing doing there. For some reason, I can't go on the entire opposite side of the ship. Either that or I haven't found the way to do so, and I'm very confused. Open the ice bucket. Well, that's new.
As expected, fresh ice and tongs.
You're welcome.
Constable Zellner, what is the meaning of this? Are even the police light-fingered nowadays?
Rude.
I need this tool for a criminal investigation.
Well then, why didn't you say so?
You didn't ask.
Bring the tongs back when you're done. Otherwise, I'll have cold fingers all day.
Yeah, maybe ease up on the alcohol there. Yeah. What was... Oh. DeConti.
The metal of the tongs feels cold from the smooth handle all the way to the tips.
Ah, the vase. Long tongs to reach into the vase. I bet that's it.
Could work.
Or just
There's something in there. Ah. Someone stuffed this in the vase. Looks like it's been used to muffle a gunshot. If this isn't an important discovery, I don't know what is. Legrand, here I come. What a discovery. This pill, Legrand.
Okay, can I? I knew it.
Better not. The pillowcase is evidence. I shouldn't smear blood on it.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Fine. Fine.
The door frame was damaged when Dr. Gebhardt kicked it in. The real question is, why was the door locked in the first place?
Well, wait a second. Just gonna double check if I can check that window above the desk. Anything here? Oh,
There should be a ventilation shaft behind the hatch. Usually a good way to break in and out undetected. But we're on a ship. The ventilation shafts are very small here. I can't say why, and it seems impossible, but something tells me that the murderer entered and left the cabin through the door. The only question is how.
no idea. I could say sarcastically, oh, well, he walked. But that's about it.
A singed pillowcase is proof that there must have been a second gunshot. Inspector?
Can't you knock?
I didn't realize. I'm
not getting anywhere. I'm going to question each passenger individually. Anyone without an airtight alibi will be checked for gunshot residue.
But, Inspector...
People trip up when you put pressure on them, Constable Zellner. The Raven is nervous. He's changed his methodology and become a murderer. I'll see it in his eyes. After you.
But, Inspector Legrand...
This guy is, what's the word? Hopeless?
We have no proof that the Raven and the murderer are the same person. Quite the opposite. The Baroness's message hints at the fact that she knew the murderer and that he'd killed before.
You may not know it, but I do. I will catch him with or without your help.
Get a grip, dude.
I don't believe it. What's gotten into him? Oh, well. It makes no sense to tell him about my theories if his opinion is already set. I need evidence. Or better yet, the murderer. I also need his lab if I'm going to get anywhere. I need to get in there somehow. And I really need to talk to the stowaway. He may have information, and the inspector will just ignore him since he's too young to be the Raven. Legrand locked the door. The lock isn't especially secure. If I had a wire or something like that, I could probably pick it.
Not a wire, not a wire, not a wire. Okay. A wire or something, or a hairpin?
Mr. Kreutzer, come on, you have to give me a bit more. You're the only one who was on the train and who has no alibi for last night.
As I said, I was in my cabin.
Are you sure that it was your cabin and not the Baroness's?
Legrand will question the guests, one after another. But if he doesn't get the answers that he wants to hear, it could become unpleasant for them. Lady Westmacott, may I bother you for a moment?
By all means, Mr. Zellner.
How is the questioning going?
Are you implying that I'm an eavesdropper? The inspector is placing a lot of pressure on our dear Mr. Kreutzer. He's the only one who was on the train and who doesn't have an alibi for last night.
Perhaps. But him? A murderer?
I know people like him. He doesn't have enough backbone to kill someone in cold blood and remain so calm. He'd turn it into a drama and then a farce, drink himself insensible, and then, railing at fate, pitch himself into the sea. Forget him. Legrand is wasting his time. Mr. Kreutzer just happens to be a perfect fit for the inspector's image of the Raven.
Athletic, cultured, moves among the rich and famous.
I'll eat his violin if he's the Raven or the murderer.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable
That
Zellner.
is a
Of
big
course.
meal.
Mr. Kreutzer clearly feels uneasy. But does Legrand actually think he's the Raven? Legrand is absorbed in the interrogation. He still seems pretty annoyed. The violinist seems to be bearing the brunt of it.
Ah, things have changed.
Captain DeConti seems old and tired. The price you pay for a life like his, I suppose. I'm sure Captain DeConti wouldn't mind a chat, but I don't think he can help me at the moment.
Oh, fine. Miss Myers or Mayers?
Miss Mayers seems to have found an opportunity to do nothing. Hello, Miss Mayers.
Oh, that hat. What is that hat doing?
Mr.
Constable Zellner.
That hat is getting ready to launch off and fly back to whatever UFO planet it's from.
Do you think it's appropriate to go sunbathing in a situation like this?
What situation?
A woman was murdered last night.
If refusing to sunbathe could bring the dead back to life, I'd go back to my cabin immediately.
Touche?
Did you hear or see anything suspicious last night?
No, I didn't feel very well last night. I went to bed early.
So, you're feeling better this morning?
Thanks for asking.
I'm sure your parents are truly sorry that they can't be with you at this difficult time.
Maybe, but I'm not a little girl anymore. And thinking about my fiancé keeps me going.
You're engaged?
Yes, my boyfriend and I got engaged right before the trip. I want to surprise my parents, especially my dad.
I'm sure he'll be very surprised. But what will you do if your father doesn't agree to the engagement?
What choice does he have when he put me on this boat full of thieves and murderers in the first place?
Charming. Enjoy the sun, Miss Mayers, and don't let us disturb you.
If you're trying to make me feel guilty, Constable, it's not working.
Oh, that attitude. Okay. Nothing else up here. Always have to check for the state changes. She's definitely the murderer. Sure. I don't think you're playing it right.
Matt is keeping himself busy with that strange game. He seems to be okay again, but I think he'd be running around all over the place if he'd really come to terms with what happened on the train. Hello there, partner.
Hi.
Are you all right?
Uh-huh.
Have you recovered from our adventure?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Zellner,
Hmm?
what's going on?
What do you mean?
Everybody's acting so strange, and there's tape across that door. I saw that in a movie once.
You don't have to be worried.
Is it about the man from the train?
It might be about the thief, yes.
Haven't you caught him yet?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I heard you and your mom used to argue a lot.
We did. Everything was bad. The house, school, the other kids. We didn't have much money, and I was always alone.
You do know that your mother would love to have been with you, don't you? She had to go out to work to earn money.
She wouldn't have had to if Dad were still around.
And how do you get along with her now?
I'm always happy when we do something together on vacation. She has more time for me now, and I like my boarding school. I have lots of friends, and the teachers aren't so bad.
Your mother and Professor Lucien seem to be on very good terms with each other. Don't you like him?
Don't know.
He seems to be very nice.
I guess.
Lady Westmacott is all by herself in the saloon. Maybe you'd like to visit her later.
Sure, the lady tells exciting stories.
I know. She's my favorite writer.
She told me that it's not much fun to write detective novels. She'd rather write something else, but her fans always want the same thing.
They made her rich and famous.
I told her to write what she wants to write. If it's good, someone will buy it. And if not, at least she had fun writing it. Then she smiled and nodded. She said it was a good idea.
What are you playing there?
I'm playing shuffleboard. At least I'm trying to.
Never played it before.
It's easy. Professor Lucien explained it to me.
And who won?
We didn't play.
You didn't want to play with him, did you?
Mm-mm.
Do you want to play a game with me?
Sure.
You're too old to be a threat to my family structure.
I think you'll have to explain the rules to me first.
Okay, you play with the blue pucks and I play with the red ones. You have to push the pucks with this stick into the zone over there and score as many points as possible.
Sounds easy. How many pucks do I have?
6. Now here comes the kicker. First it's your turn, then mine, and so on. But everyone is allowed to shoot the other person's pucks out of the zone.
Ooh.
Then let's get started.
Oh yeah. What are we playing for?
I thought we'd just play for fun.
That's boring. We have to bet something. Otherwise it isn't fun.
You English people.
So I'll bet my brand new slingshot. And you?
English.
I don't want to gamble.
English.
How about
American, thank you.
Okay. If I win, I get the slingshot. If I lose, I get an ice cream in Cairo.
I have a feeling that
Hey,
translation...
Never try to cheat Matt Miller. So, what do you say? Ice cream versus slingshot?
All right. Let the games begin.
I have a feeling that, what? Oh, okay. I have a feeling that, oh crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh well. Well, that was a bit much. Nice. Yeah. Perfect. Nice.
That's it.
Oh, man.
The athlete wins the day.
One more time.
No, that's enough for me.
All right.
Ah, now I get
Are you
it.
sure?
Gambling debts are debts of honor.
Unless you're in
I'll
Vegas
give
and then
it
you need to
back
run
to
for
you
your
when I
life.
don't need it anymore, okay?
Okay, but make sure my mom doesn't catch you with it. She thinks it's dangerous.
I love the fact that he's threading that right between his... Yeah. Let's see.
Miss Miller and the professor are talking intensely. She seems pretty relaxed, by her standards. Good morning, Miss Miller. Professor Lucien?
Constable Zellner, how are you? I heard you passed out last night.
Well, not quite. I was poisoned.
Oh,
That wretch!
Who do you mean by that wretch?
That stowaway! That new raven!
The young man can't be the murderer. Constable Oliver had already apprehended him when the shot was fired.
You mean...
Whoever killed the Baroness is still on the loose.
I think I should take my leave. I'd like to rest for a while.
Oh, good grief.
One last question, Professor. The safe in Legrand's cabin can only be opened with 3 keys. Am I right?
That's correct. We sent the first to Monsieur Mokhtar of the Egyptian Museum via air freight. I have one, and the inspector has the other.
But it was originally planned that someone else should carry the 3rd key, right?
You are well informed, Constable. Baroness von Trebitz should have had it. But then there were concerns. And for that reason, Inspector Legrand took it himself.
Was that his idea?
Well, yes, you could say that. I want to go back to my cabin. I'll see you later, Mary.
oh, of course.
Mary.
See you later.
I didn't want to interrupt your conversation with Professor Lucien so abruptly.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Learning that there's still a burglar on board seemed to frighten him.
He was so relaxed the whole time, and then...
And then the stupid Swiss constable came by and made him anxious.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
No matter. I'm sure he'll calm down and come back soon enough. May I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
Oh, boy.
How is Matt? He seems happy enough.
After all the commotion, he's already back to his old self again. But I haven't told him about the murder. That would be a bit too much for him.
I think he's made of sterner stuff.
I want to thank you again for what you did on the train. I wouldn't have known...
Everything's fine. Think nothing of it.
No, seriously, if you keep thinking about it, ma'am, you're going to have yourself a panic attack.
How was last night for you?
It was awful. I was having a conversation with Edgar, Professor Lucien, here on the forecastle. Then I wanted to look for the lady and went forward via the side deck. When I passed the Baroness's cabin, I heard a muffled scream.
You heard a scream?
Yes. I thought the Baroness probably had a fall. I went to the door and listened for a moment. Since I couldn't hear anything, I knocked on the door and asked whether she was all right. There was no answer.
Interesting. And then?
I didn't know what to do, so I tried to open the door. It was locked. I saw the Baroness's butler, Mr. Inch, on the forecastle. I thought he might have the key and went back. On the way, the Bobby crossed my path, and then Edgar, who wanted to check the safe. I explained the situation to him, and then the alarm went off.
The Bobby. Please tell me they did not get an American voice actor to voice the lines of an English character, and therefore we're stuck with someone who sounds like they're from the States trying to talk like someone who's from the UK. I really, really, really hope that isn't the case.
How did the scream sound?
It was a short outcry, very frightened, as if someone had been startled.
Was it a woman's voice?
Yes, the voice was high.
So it could have been a scream from the Baroness. Possibly because she discovered someone in her cabin.
Possibly.
That person might have threatened her with a weapon so that she wouldn't scream for help.
Oh, God.
He waited until the coast was clear.
Oh, please, stop it, Mr. Zellner.
It was the butler.
The Baroness's butler said that he was on the forecastle as well.
Yes, he was standing on the other side of the deck smoking a cigarette.
Was he on the forecastle the whole time?
I'm not sure. He was there, and later he was on the side deck with us. Oh, yeah, yes, he looked after you while you were unconscious. He unbuttoned your collar and held your head while the doctor checked you.
But you can't say for certain whether he came from the forecastle with you and Professor Lucien, or afterwards.
Well, no. But where else could he have come from?
Did you report that to Inspector Legrand?
Yes, last night. He was very interested and took a lot of notes. But I wanted to look for Lady Westmacott, and he let me go without further delay. He said that he'd take down my full statement today.
I understand.
Do you think the man from the train also killed the Baroness, Constable Zellner?
I don't know yet.
It's horrible. Explosions, thieves, murderers. This isn't the right place for a lady and a little boy.
You and Professor Lucien seem to be having a lively conversation.
Had been having.
Oh, yes. He's an expert in ancient Egyptian art and preeminent in hieroglyphic research. He's the head of the Egyptian department in the British Museum, you know. And he's going to open an exhibition at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
Right. For the eye.
They had planned on exhibiting both jewels together for the first time in decades, but that's not going to happen now, sadly. I think it's quite upsetting for him.
We're working hard to ensure that at least one eye will be on display.
I know. I'll ask Lady Westmacott if she'd like to participate in the opening of the exhibition. I think it would be good for her.
And Professor Lucien will surely offer you a private tour.
Okay, here's the question. Are you American?
You're American, aren't you?
That's correct.
And you moved to England because of the job?
I lived in England before. During the Second World War, I volunteered. I worked in a pharmacy on a US base north of London.
In a pharmacy? Interesting.
Well, it was the war and everyone was sent where they could help best.
Please, go on, Mrs. Miller.
After the war, I studied music in London. I met my husband there. We married and went back to the States together.
He was also American?
No, English. But he said he had problems with his family, and he wanted to be as far from them as possible.
And you gave up your studies for him?
Well, yes, I did.
Life as a single mother couldn't have been easy.
It was pretty tough then. I worked from morning till night, and it was still only enough for the bare necessities. And I couldn't give Matt all the attention he needed.
And then Lady Westmacott entered your life.
It was like an angel appeared to me. She must have offered me the position out of pity. I had no experience as a carer. She made me a generous offer. I couldn't believe it. And she really adores Matt. She's offered him a good education, and now he has every opportunity in life.
An almost unbelievable story.
I'm still afraid that it's a dream and that I'll wake up one day.
It's worse. It's a point-and-click reality.
How does it feel to work for such a world-famous person?
The work is very interesting and varied, and it pays well, too.
You are very lucky that the lady offered the position to you.
I just hope she won't change her mind one day. What would become of Matt's education then? I really make an effort to measure up to Lady Westmacott's expectations, but sometimes I feel like I fall short.
Lady Westmacott couldn't ask for a better companion.
I'm saving up as much money as I can all the same. I'd do anything so that Matt doesn't have to give up his new life.
Aww. Inspector Patou.
Lady Westmacott dropped a hint on the train that she killed her hero, Partout. What did she mean by that?
Oh, she must have meant the manuscript.
Manuscript?
She always takes it with her. It's an unpublished Partout novel. I once asked her why she never published it. She said that according to her will, the novel's only to be published after her death.
And in it, Partout will be killed?
Maybe. I've never read it. No one has.
Oh.
You better ask her yourself.
That's awesome.
If you worked in a pharmacy, you would certainly know something about medicines and poisons.
Everything is a potential poison, Constable. It depends on the dose.
Have you ever heard of chloral hydrate?
It's a tranquilizer, isn't it?
I'm asking you.
Well, Lady Westmacott also asked questions like that for her last novel. But since I've never wanted to kill anyone, I never bothered with things like strychnine and arsenic and all that.
What about old lace?
Something for a headache, a sore throat, or a rash.
That's kind of you, but there's really no need. I'll be seeing you, Miss Miller.
Constable?
Let's see. Well, now I have a slingshot and pebbles. Oh.
The little stones make perfect ammunition for the slingshot. Now I just need a suitable target.
No.
All right.
Ow! 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 Ah! Hey, Zellner, what in blazes was that?
What?
Something hit me!
You mean someone shot at you?
Yes, well, no, I don't know. Didn't you notice anything?
I was riveted by the fantastic view. We Swiss aren't used to seeing the horizon like this.
And my bottle's broken too. I don't believe this.
You stepped on it.
The bottle is nothing more than broken glass in a puddle. If Constable Oliver gets thirsty now, he'll be in a bind. I should help out.
Yes, let us help him. Yes. So do I get him a drug to drink? I mean...
English ham and eggs. One advantage on an international trip is the international breakfast. Many of my fellow countrymen think it's outrageous to eat fried bacon, sausages, or anything heavy for breakfast. I, on the other hand, think ham and eggs are the only worthwhile contribution the English have made to international cuisine.
And now I'm hungry.
It's not fair. There's a magnificent buffet, but I don't have an appetite. Maybe a side effect of the tranquilizer. It's not... There's a...
Ah, man. I want this music for intermissions.
Lady Westmacott,
By all means, Mr. Zellner.
did Miss Miller cope with all the excitement?
I think so. But what happened on the train was quite a shock for her. She wouldn't be able to go on if something happened to Matthew.
She's worried about him.
He's all she has. It breaks her heart that he lives at a boarding school and can't always be with her. But she sets her wishes and needs aside so that he can get a good education. That's her way.
Where is Matthew's father?
Gone. Run off. Ran away from his problems again. He drank a lot. More and more after each setback. It's better for both of them this way.
He left her.
She couldn't have borne it. She loved him and wanted to stick by him. She fell out with her family over him. They couldn't understand her. And when he left her, the ground opened up beneath her feet. For 2 weeks, she was as good as dead. If she didn't have Matthew, she'd be dead.
You seem to know a lot about it. I mean, about the time before Miss Miller began working for you.
I have my reasons.
And Matthew, do you care as deeply about the children of your other employees?
If you fail with your own child, you hope to do better with others, Constable.
And the idea to send Matt to a boarding school,
was mine. Matthew idolized his father and blamed his mother for the fact that he wasn't around anymore. I was afraid the situation would escalate if he had to live on a country estate alone with his mother and some old people. I think I was right. He quickly made friends at boarding school. He's popular, well-liked, a real athlete according to his teachers, and his relationship with his mother has improved as well. He's headed in the right direction.
Well, that's good.
Miss Miller told me that you have a valuable manuscript with you.
That is correct.
An unpublished Part 2 novel. The manuscript must be worth a fortune.
Oh, it's not just any Part 2 novel. I wrote it 20 years ago, but it will only be published after my death. It's Part 2's last case. Maurice Part 2 dies.
You're going to kill him off?
I already have. And I enjoyed it. Madam, I was so sick of writing one Part 2 novel after another. I was keen to stick a knife in his guts. And so, 20 years ago, I did. Of course, I didn't want to disappoint my fans, so I let him solve case after case. But at least I was certain that he'd never escape me, that in the end, I would get him.
I understand. Let's just hope that this novel remains unpublished for many more years. I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
What any good person does when they write a novel, create a Dungeons and Dragons character, the etcs, they will find a way to kill that bugger off before they can get further. Oh, beg your pardon. Let's see. I haven't been gone more than 5 minutes. You're already back here enjoying yourself another wine.
I'm sure Captain...
Yeah. Hmm.
Psst, Matt.
What?
Here's your slingshot back.
Really? Thanks.
You're welcome, but... you should put Constable Oliver on the list of people who'd better not see it.
I understand. Don't worry, I'll be careful.
Good man.
What do you want?
Inspector Legrand is questioning the first of the passengers in the saloon.
And?
It will be hours before he gets to the stowaway.
And?
We'll save time if I question him.
We'd also save time if you stopped asking me the same things over and over again. I will not let you in. What time is it, by the way?
Got an appointment?
No, but I'm hungry.
Go and get yourself something. I'll mind the door in the meantime.
Ha ha. You could bring me something, though.
So, what do you want to eat?
Oh, anything. An apple or something like that.
There's ham and eggs in the saloon.
Ha! Can't touch him.
Why not?
Sergeant Mills.
Hmm?
He's responsible for the fitness of the unit, and he'll chew you out if he thinks you've packed on a few pounds.
I see. Leave it with me.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Wait a minute. Can I? Just need to check. Can I do that? No. Okay.
Whatever Constable Oliver wants, he's getting ham and eggs. And just a pinch of salt for our friendly constable.
It's a little more than a pinch. Gonna make him a thirstier than a sea dog.
Constable Oliver.
Huh?
Ham and eggs, piping hot.
Oh, I shouldn't really.
I don't see anyone here who'd rebuke you. It was a hard night.
Yeah, true. Oh, delicious. Just enough salt.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good of you. Cheers.
You don't expect me to wash your dirty dishes as well, do you?
Oh, of course not, Your Majesty.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, dude.
Could you bring me something to drink? Those ham and eggs were pretty salty.
I'm sorry. I have to proceed with my investigations. Goodbye. Let's see how long he can resist his thirst. Not long at all.
That was very easy. Oof. That's a rough place.
Nervous? I would be too in your position. Who are you?
My name is Adil, and you are...
Constable Zellner. Why did you sneak onto the ship, Adil?
I wanted to go back home.
You're Egyptian?
There's no work for me in Italy. I want to see my family again.
And since you don't have money, you stowed away.
So what if I did?
So, it was you who knocked me out.
Me? Never.
No? Where were you when I was attacked?
Well, I couldn't take anything with me on this trip, so I snuck into the kitchen and took some canned goods.
Interesting. And how do you know when I was attacked?
Well, I thought it was yesterday, shortly before we set sail.
I take this bump personally. What were you searching for on deck last night?
I was hiding the whole evening. I wanted to go out and get some fresh air, see the stars. But then suddenly, they were looking for me.
Were you in one of the cabins?
No.
Did you see anyone on the deck or on the roof?
No.
And after we arrested you?
The English policeman put me in this cell. Then he left. I've been here ever since.
And you didn't notice anything along the way?
No, nothing.
What about the gunshot? Didn't you hear it?
Yes. The English policeman had already arrested me. We heard a bang and looked around.
And then?
Then, the Bobby was in a hurry to get rid of me. He almost pushed me down the stairs and locked me in here. He left, and then a short time later, the alarm went off.
Constable Oliver wasn't with you anymore when the alarm went off?
No. I was scared that the ship would sink with me sitting here like a rat in a trap.
Hold on. Well, first off, I don't think the policeman had anything to do with it, but you never know. But on top of that, I just realized, I can't believe I didn't put two and two together. I believe that English police officer's name is Robert, and he's a Bobby. I feel ashamed I didn't realize this pun sooner.
It's hard for me to believe a single word of your story.
Because I'm a foreigner?
Because you seem to have learned our language in the space of a day. Accent-free.
Believe what you want.
Who paid you to distract us?
What?
You went for a walk around the deck and let yourself be seen. Everyone goes off hunting you, and in the meantime, your partner shoots the Baroness in peace.
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't want to distract anyone. I just want to go home.
You're a liar, and a bad one at that.
But sir, I'm telling the truth.
And I'm the Raven. Inspector Legrand will deal with you. He's lying like a cheap rug. But he probably doesn't know anything about the murder. Very disappointing. So I have to keep searching. What interests me most is the shot that was fired here in the cargo hold last night. Whoever fired the shot hit the crate. Did the shooter just want to intimidate me? Or maybe he needed the bullet. No, the bullet hole is too small for the tongs.
Oh, not you too, game.
The cargo hold also seems to serve as a changing room for the crew. At least for the ones who don't wear white uniforms. A stroke of luck. The lock is open. Oil-stained overalls. And here, an old toolbox. It's been through a lot. Hardly any paint, dented, and the lid is held shut by a wire.
Wire?
I'll take it with me.
Ooh, the wire.
Some wrenches, a bit of wire wool, an oily cloth, and here, a screwdriver. Well, I think the bullet is still in the wood. I'm not a weapons specialist, but at first sight I'd say that this bullet looks exactly the same as the one Dr. Gebhardt gave me for Legrand. That would mean that the murderer also fired a shot here in the cargo hold before the murder. But why? Did they just want to make sure the old guns still worked? Or was it something else? And did the bullet really come from the same gun? I can only check that in Legrand's cabin.
Or were they shot in the perceived order? What if this is a second shot? Because if you're muffling a shot with a pillow, no one's going to hear it very well. So what if the second shot, what if the shot down here is the one everyone heard? Oh.
Somebody put the trunk back on the shelf. I can't tell whether it was our young friend or someone else. It must be uncomfortable traveling like that, even if you're as young and slim as our guest in the cell over there. I could take one of the saws with me as a souvenir. On the other hand, it'd remind me of my bump and of my rather inelegant escape.
Oh, come off it.
That takes the biscuit.
I noticed that the door was unguarded. I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right.
Tell it to Legrand. He's expressly forbidden anyone to speak to the witness before he does.
All right, let's go to Legrand and tell him what happened. You fell asleep and then you left the door unguarded. Well, are we going?
No, but don't try it again.
Of course not.
Nothing like a good one-over on somebody. Let's see. Wire, you say? To shreds, you say? You wouldn't mind if I took a peek, Legrand, right? Right? You're not using the room at the moment.
The lock isn't especially secure. I should be able to open it with the wire from the cargo hold.
Oh. That'll be... Nope, not there. Not there. Let's see. Oh. Not quite. Ah. Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, no, yes, yeah. Not quite. Fallout lockpicking at its finest. Just a little bit, and then slightly more. Perfect.
There we go.
Is not how lockpicking works, but not bad.
Neatly folded and unused. Legrand hasn't slept since we cast off, nor on the train. A lockmaster and son. Tough to crack. If I wanted to steal the eye, I'd concentrate on getting the 3 keys. Legrand must have taken and developed the photos himself. He even made copies and enlargements. He seems to be prepared for everything, with access to more resources than a normal detective. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point, but there's no way to determine when. Legrand's file on the Raven, centimeters thick, but totally useless. We're not dealing with the Raven. Why can't he see that? Our man is ruthless, a bomber, and quite probably a murderer. There's nothing written on the bottle. I suppose it's some sort of stimulant, legal or not. Legrand has been awake for at least 30 hours straight, maybe more.
Dude. What?
Aha. That's the bullet the doctor removed from the Baroness's corpse. This is the pipe from the cargo hold. Legrand seems to have inspected it for fingerprints. I can still make out the powder. This file belongs in a museum. It's history. The inspector should concentrate on the present.
Dun, 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 dun. What's... I thought I saw something. Okay. Well, that's what I saw.
Smells like chemicals. Legrand probably developed the photos in here. There are still fragments of the syringe that the inspector broke in the sink. Why is he pushing himself like this? Even if he catches the Raven, is it worth ruining his career and his health? A microscope. Looks like the one that Lutz Reichinger uses in his pharmacy, just more modern. All right. Okay.
Let's see if these bullets work together, shall we?
That's the proof. Whoever shot the Baroness also fired the shot in the cargo hold. What could that mean? Both bullets came from the same gun. That means that whoever shot the Baroness was also in the cargo hold. That fact may be important later.
What? I'll go outside. The forensics box. Yes.
A masterpiece. Forensic teams use kits like these. They're placing increasing importance on
What
the
is that symbol in
preservation
the
of
text?
evidence. But not in Switzerland yet. It's a small lab used to conduct simple analysis on site. All right. What? Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. For forensics in the woods or the open country, I suppose. No use on a ship. A small glass bowl for mixing chemicals. What's this? Oh, how practical. A hermetically sealed cotton swab for collecting samples. I'll take it.
For the blood. Nothing to see here. Head on up. Take a specimen. That's a terminology right there.
I always wanted to do that. That should be enough.
Mm-hmm.